Hello, Fantastica. Hello, Max. Hello, Tim. Oh. Black screen for a bit, guys. For like half a minute to a minute. I'm back. It's 4 a.m. and I haven't slept. What am I doing? You're chilling. You're chillaxing. Calmly. Secretly. Don't fight it. Just accept it. You okay? Yeah, I'm good. When does Chisa come out? 2.8. I don't know. Where's the E2 My Day rant? I already ranted about it. Full video on it. No point going further. No, I don't want to try new gacha games. It's too much, man. Sorry for starting like this, but I was reading comments under a latest post and my mental was shattered by, defenders. Why can't these people understand they're being scammed? Oh no, man. I'm just tired. I'm so tired of trying to say anything. I genuinely just don't have any energy. Every time I criticize something that goes wrong, everybody just thinks I'm attacking the game. I say over and over and over again, I'm not attacking the game. The game is good. They just keep bringing up other games and they keep defending it. It's like these people are a bunch of toddlers who have been brainwashed. Who just got nuked? No one. They deleted their own messages because I haven't kicked or banned anyone. My day doesn't even need tribute. No, I'm full aware. I should have been a little more clear with my words with that person, but there's a big difference between best in slot support and designated support. No, exactly, Dust. It's not everyone. I won't say it's everyone, right, of course. It truly isn't. I think it's like 50-50. Like, 50% of the WUA players who watch my channel, they aren't like, super negative or anything. Like, they're giving their honest opinions and shit. It's like, that's cool. But then you have, like, I want to, call this out. Someone got mad at me in my recent video where I talk about the Augusto and Uno stuff. They got mad at me because they misinterpreted what I was saying and I didn't spread misinformation. Like, in the video, all I say is I'd highly recommend pulling Uno if you play Augusta, since she seems to give really good buffs for her specifically with this new crit damage information. And then they're in the comments saying, you're spreading misinformation saying that you need Uno for Augusta to be good or clear. And then I say, yo, I never said this in the video. Can you point it out? And then they reply, oh, so then what's the point of the video? They made up something I said to be mad at. And then when I told them I didn't say that, they got mad at me for not saying it. So you said they're fighting a ghost? Yeah. Oh no, man. And it's like, these people are like, oh my god, right? Like, it's because you make videos on Wuwa calling out the bullshit in it, and it's like, brother, Ceredra is right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my god, why don't you keep the same energy for HSR? These people have no fucking clue what my channel is about. I've been clowning Ceredra her entire beta, every single version, clowning her ass for being as niche as she is in that dumbass Departed State buff. Like 10 plus videos clowning one character. I make one video where I don't even talk negatively about what I'm talking about, and it somehow gets more negative feedback than any of my HSR videos shitting on HSR characters. It's like, what? Hello, Hazel. Nice, Draco. They don't watch your HSR content. They only come to be toxic about your WUA takes. Yeah. It's just so annoying, man. Like, being a WUA content creator and saying it how it is actually, like, so fucking miserable. It's insane. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, when I make negative HSR videos like that Archer Lycone shit, right? Like, people will obviously disagree with me, right? And I make videos like, you know, giving my own opinion again, or whatever the fuck, right? But, like, people just bring HSR, Genshin, other gacha games into the mix every single fucking time I say something about WUA. This never happens when I make videos shitting on HSR. Never. No one brings up another game. They're like, yeah, this is shitty, or nah, I don't think this is shitty, right? It's only WUA. It's the only game I make content on. I criticize. People are like, oh, what about this game? Oh, what about the gacha industry? You know, this is normal.
Right. Like, yeah, don't you have niche supports in HSR too? Like,
The WUA community attack you again? I wouldn't say the WUA community attacked me. This isn't anywhere near as big as like my older crash out videos and shit. But it's just me being frustrated with making WUA content. Because if I'm not toxically positive, its feedback will always be noticeably negative, right? That doesn't mean it's majority negative, but like you can very easily see people being very negative for like zero fucking reason most of the time. Like, I just don't know what to do while being honest. Like, I can sugarcoat my opinion about WUA, glaze it to the high heavens, compare it to HSR with its better banner rates, and farm views for the rest of my channel's lifespan. But I just don't want to do that. I just don't. What happened to your Heislands is mid or Dot is mid take? My take with Dot was it doesn't matter how good Heislands is, and she needs to be noticeably stronger because she needs, like, Dot doesn't get teammates. Like, I don't care how strong Dot is right now if they're not going to get a new support for the next over a year again. Because you're going to end up in the same situation where Dot was when it first released, where people are like, oh, you know, even if it's not the strongest team, it's still fine, right? It's still meta. And then you don't get any updates to the Dot team for over a year. And now it's, oh, Dot is only really comfortable with full E1s, right? Like, I don't care how strong they make a Dot character unless they're literally number one on release by, like, a lot. Otherwise, they're gonna fucking fall off a cliff. Like, you guys need to understand, sure, sustainless dot in this very niche scenario has, like, pretty good, solid performance. But the thing is, sustainless dot is so fucking hard, right? Because enemies keep getting action advanced by the dot, and this just leads to your team dying faster. So the only standard you can really use for the dot team is their sustain team, and their sustain team is top 3 right now, right? Behind My Day and Cassie. But it would not be surprising if when Phanon gets Don Hung, that Phanon goes to top 3. And so Heisland's, like, a patch later, is already near being kicked out of the top 5. And then on top of this, no new support for, like, the next year, right? And once again, right, like, they sell it behind the E1. They buffed Heisland's E1 before the version's finished. And so you want to get full E1 on the team, unsurprisingly, right? But I just don't think that's worth it. Investing into an archetype that gets one... It's not even an archetype, actually. You know what? Scratch that. Investing into a team, right? There isn't enough dot characters to call it an archetype at all. You are investing only into one single team, and you're getting one new addition every year. That is the dot team. Where do you get your wallpapers from? Wallpaper Engine. It's this one over here. Oh yeah, Wuwa Echo farming is just as shit as HSR Relic farming. Like, it's literally just as shit. I have been farming for Brant Echoes for the last, like, week. Brother, I've gotten one cost with double crit and 1 3 cost with double crit. I'm still missing another 3 cost, a 4 cost, and another 1 cost after a week of farming. You're missing energy regen on every piece? No, that's the other problem. The 3 cost with double crit that I got doesn't have ER as a substat. Like, it's so annoying, man. Brant specifically, echo farming this guy is miserable. Because you want both double crit and ER and basic attack and attack percent. Like, he wants every fucking good stat. But mostly ER. But it's, like, so hard to get double crit ER, man. What's a noise gate? It was too costly for me? Yeah, understandable. Don Hung Prez can work on Heisland since he's also physical. Yeah. But I don't think Don Hung Prez would be all that much of a buff. Because you're not using Sunday. Prevent background sound from being recorded, I think. Oh, I'll write that down then, and I'll look it up after this stream. According to leaks, he is SP positive because of his relic set. I mean, I don't disagree, but, like, I don't think it'll be too big of a buff. He'll probably be best in slot. I will say that. He will be the best in slot sustain, as you probably want to be SP positive and he's going to run that relic set, but I don't think it would be too crazy of, like, a sustained performance jump. Mostly because of Hyacine. You can already use Hyacine pretty well in that team. Maybe I'll be proven wrong though. Maybe he gives like some buffs or debuffs I'm not aware of. Maybe that could change everything. I mean, personally, Draco, I think either they buff Black Swan or they need to release a new dog character to replace what Black Swan. Because, like, at E0, Black Swan is pretty replaceable with, like, Tribby Robin, from what I've seen. And it's not until apparently you get E1 Black Swan where it's like she's definitive best in slot. But Heislands and Kafka go crazy. What effect is the relic set? You can generate skill points. Not sure how specifically yet. Probably just by using skill if I had to guess though. Should I even bother pulling Ceridra if I have an E6 Phanon? I mean, it like, no. Not really. No. Yeah, like, yeah. My thing is, if you're like a whale and you have no issues going with like vertical investment for best in slot supports, then like I wouldn't mind recommending it. But if I'm not considering like, like E0 Ceridra is not gonna increase all that much. I mainly say it because of E1S0 and E1S1. Those are like the best levels of vertical investment for her, in which she becomes like 40% better than any other options, maybe a little more. But at E0 specifically, it's like, nah, not really. Yeah, like there's actually videos of people zero cycling the current MOC by just using solo Phanon at E6. Let me see if there's any new leaks. Oh, I saw people having a meltdown about something about Ceridra, and apparently it was all a mistranslation, and people were having meltdowns for no reason. Oh my goodness. Branya is better than Siri. Well, she isn't. But if you already have her. Mistranslation of what? Apparently, somewhere in the live stream when talking about Ceridra, they mention about some curse of infantilization, and everybody thinks that they're talking about Ceridra, but apparently they were talking about Tribby. So they were talking about the curse of Tribby, but they thought Ceridra, like they were saying Ceridra had the curse. So now everybody on Twitter ran away with it and thinks Ceridra is like a kid. when she isn't. Blade getting a new path. Don't know about new path, but he's just getting a new, like, version of him in version 4. They think Saridra is minor? Yeah, because of a mistranslation. Or, like, a misunderstanding. Oh, yeah, lazy. There's a lot of people who say that. Not that I care, though. You think Don Hung will save Saridra? No. Would you think Saridra for Phanon is the same case like Tribi for Casterus? Which is they are actually best in slot for Noxo and Herda. So Phanon best in slot for now is only Don Hung and he has 2 more spots? No. Saridra is 100% made as a definitive best in slot for Phanon. It's not a Tribi situation. This doesn't mean she can't be power crept in the future, but she was 100% made designated. Don Hung is a little more sneaky, right? In which I mean, Phanon, the reason why Don Hung is going to be his best in slot sustain, at least with the info we know right now, isn't specifically like how the summon works or anything like that. It's just having a summon. Because Phanon is the first character in the entirety of the game to give himself damage bonus 45% from just running with sustain. And then his best in slot teammate, which is Sunday, enables another 50% damage bonus if there's a summon on the DPS. So Phanon, he's quite expensive, and it's actually Sunday who's enabling the Phanon, Don Hung synergy, and not Don Hung and Phanon themselves. This is why I mentioned before in like my vertical investment video for Phanon that if you plan to run him with sustain in the future, Sunday is actually like probably on the same level of value as Saridra for Phanon, because he enables 50% more damage bonus, summon action advance, buff summons as well, like crit rate for a guy who doesn't get crit in his light cone, SP positivity or neutrality, which neither Saridra nor Branya do, right? Like, I can keep going on and on. Sunday is an extreme comfort pick. Is that E0 Sunday or E1? That's E0 Sunday. E1 Sunday is defense shred. So E1 Sunday gives 16% defense shred to the DPS and 40% to the summon. But the damage bonus is just an inherent part of his kit. The dragon will not give Saridra stacks. I need you guys to understand, if the dragon summon gives Saridra stacks and the current leak that it goes and moves every time Phanon does is true, he would legit just do double the meteors that he already does, right? Which is like it would be too broken. Like, he'd probably power creep every DPS in the game by like 50% at minimum. Like, it's pretty bad. He's already the second strongest sustainless DPS in the game, slightly behind Heisland's. But the difference is Sustainless Phanon is way, and I mean way more doable than Sustainless Heislands. It's like astronomically different leagues in terms of ease of Sustainless. So, why are people thinking that the Dragon will give Saridra stacks? Because Saridra is so underwhelming, they want her to be further buffed to make her more justifiably pullable. It's basically just that. I mean, I don't blame them, but like, it's probably just not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? When's beta? 1 week. Beta should be in 1 week. HMD Cats, HSR. Yeah, it's in 1 week. Exactly. You guys ready for the Doom posting? March with Cassie sucks. Barely an RMC upgrade. Oh, this character is bricked. And then you're going to have the Don Hung side. Oh, he still isn't as strong as Cassie in sustain. No, no, he's trash. Can't wait. Does Archer need skill points for the extra Saridra turn? No. I mean, to initiate it, probably. The same way it consumes Scourge or skill points from Anoxa and Phanon. But like the enhanced skill, the extra one you get, no. That won't consume skill points. In fact, something interesting, Draco, I don't know if you know this. The extra skill Saridra gives to Archer does not count towards the 5 skill cap he has. So like, some people were able to time it absolutely perfectly and get 7 Archer skills in one of his turns. Cyrene doesn't have a territory because who would you play March with? I mean, I don't know. Like, I think the March team is truthfully just March RMC Cyrene Hyacine for hyper carry. Like, I would also like to believe Cyrene doesn't have a territory. I'm 50-50 on it. I truly am. I don't know. Right? I think making a general support with true damage buffing, the first limited one in the game, have restrictions with characters doesn't make sense. And the reason I think it doesn't make sense even more is because they made RMC's true damage work for non-energy allies by giving them 6% more true damage, right? It still isn't as good, right? But the point is, you can use RMC with literally anyone in the game, no matter what, and they get true damage. So it would be really weird to me if they made Cyrene the limited version of the dude, same buffing, action advance, but it's team wide, like not work with territory characters. Like, this is like agenda aside, right? Like, I want best in slot for Cassie or whatever, right? This isn't agenda. It's just looking at it objectively. It's really weird of putting Cyrene in that spot, and especially for people like me, like my main account, for example, I have Phanon, and I'm going to end up replacing My Day for Yai Sakura. And so, if Yai Sakura has a territory, Cyrene just has 0 value, right? Like, 0 value on my account. Because my 2 main teams are going to be territory characters. And it's also like, we're going to get Elation MC in version 4. And, you know, Fugue was there to replace HMC's place, right? At least for sustain break teams. So I don't see why they wouldn't do the same thing with RMC Cyrene, right? Because otherwise, March is going to have this problem, right? This is a problem, and it's a very big one, because at least in HSR as of recent, since Harmony Trailblazer, they've been making the MC really good, right? Like the MC, every time he unlocks a new path, is actually very high in meta rating. So having March's hypercarry team locked to needing RMC would be a very, very bad move. Siren is. We'll see how it goes, right? We'll see how it goes. I don't know. Once again, I'm 50-50 on it because what's most obvious and blatantly right in front of us is two territory characters don't work together, right? So if we were to just look at what we have right now at face value, there's just zero chance Cyrene works. But given what HSR has done, I just find it very weird if you couldn't use Cyrene with territory characters. Like, that brings her value down a lot. Watch Elation MC be a hyper carry? That would actually be crazy. It's two characters right now. Yeah, but you need to understand the two characters who got a territory are the two strongest DPSs in the entire version, right? And so if they were to continue doing this going forward, Annie units and main push, which is basically just, Jingliu Dill, Firefly Acheron, Casterus Phanon, right? These types of characters, the highest pulled characters in the entirety of a version wouldn't be able to use Cyrene, which is like backwards, right? Like if you look at Casterus and Phanon's sales in this version compared to every other character, they shit on them, right? Like they're double the sales than most of the Amphorius characters. So that also means like half the people that play this game probably have a Phanon or a Cassie, and you're not going to let them use Cyrene with them? Like, that's kind of insane to me. I don't know. What if the territory only lasts one turn to just buff the character and disappear? Like using Cassie ult and immediately explode the dragon? I don't know, man. It's weird because we've never had a support like that. Every single support has a field up for like 3 turns, without exception. Like they all have like an all encompassing field or buff or whatever the fuck that lasts a good while. So it would be weird to think that Cyrene would suddenly be the first to just pop like the entire point of a territory kind of sucks if it just instantly goes away. Like for Cassie, you literally spam the dragon. So it's like you constantly see it. In some situations you can claw it. But if Cyrene is literally like you summon it for 2 seconds and it's gone, there's not really any point in her having a territory then. I think if they do make Cyrene work with territory DPSs, it won't be something like that, and it'll simply be them just straight up putting this territory can work with other territories or some bullshit like that, right? I don't think they'd make it like that complicated in my opinion. Smile needs to go, sorry. Phaedon isn't only pulled for how good he is or because he has a territory. People also pull him because they love the character. Yes, but you need to understand people like Phaedon and they like the character because he's a main push character, right? Like, it's the same thing with Jingliu Dill. It's the same thing with Firefly and Acheron. Like, why is it that consistently the two main push DPSs of a version are always the highest selling? It's because they purposely force good story, good writing, and focus onto them, right? So it's just going to continue the same in every single future version. Like, people are going to continue to pull for the super hyped characters. Like Yai Sakura, she's almost guaranteed to be Annie, right? Yai Sakura is basically guaranteed to be the anniversary character because of that Sparkle leak we got, saying that they're working on Sparkle and she'll be second half of 4.0, and that they're working on Yai Sakura and Elation MC, but they don't have specific key details on them yet because they're still a little farther. And it's like 4.0 is only like one or two patches away from the Annie, right? So it's either Yai Sakura's in 4.1 or 4.2, and that's going to be the anniversary, right? So very, very high chance Yai Sakura is the next territory DPS. Do you see what happened to the Wua community? No. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. If you're talking about the Tectone shit, yeah. Hello, Blitz. You never skipped the Annie unit? Yeah, I think that's most obvious at this point. We first had Acheron. Acheron aged the best of any version 2 DPS. And then we had version 3 Cassie. She's probably going to age the best because she gives herself res pen. Like, version 4 it'll probably be Sakura too. Main push DPS? Maybe Sampo. Will you pull Augusta and Yuno? Probably not, no. I actually do really like Augusta. Like, those animations almost made me completely switch. But I need Chisa, right? And if I'm gonna, like, I already said I'll probably skip Glorb. And I like Glorb more than I like Augusta. So, if I'm skipping Glorb, I'm gonna skip Augusta so I can get Chisa. Cyrene is 3.7 Woda. 3.6 is Dawn Hung in March. But supposedly there will be no other limited character alongside Cyrene in 3.7. She will be the only limited banner. Or at least new limited banner. Basically a Rappa situation. And Constance is supposed to be in 3.8 when we go back to Penacony. Yeah, Jameson. Just imagine Tectone wanted to invite you to the Gotcha cast back then. I purposely didn't accept it because all they do is jump on me and not reasonably listen to anything I say. That's why I always refused it. And it's even more obvious now. You need to keep in mind, right? The entire reason why I had to deal with a bunch of bullshit and like toxicity from the Wua community on my channel was because of me making that video calling Wua CCs out for exactly what Tectone hates now, which was you're just constantly comparing to Hoyo games to deflect criticism of Wuwa itself. And then he said, oh, if we compare, it's healthy, right? Comparison is good. I encourage comparing. He kept farming and comparing the games. And now he said he's tired of the Wuwa fandom and its toxic positivity, and all it doing is comparing to Hoyoverse. So it's like, I got attacked for saying something he now agrees with only 3 months later. Are we dead ass? Do not collab with those people. They're trying to make fun of you. Yeah, I know. I don't know who this Constance is, but if she looks anything like what I've been seeing in shorts, I gotta pull for her. Yeah, she's supposedly related to Break. We don't know if she'll be a DPS or support, but my money is on support because of her being a last patch character. And apparently, we're getting an Elation related event in 3.6 that is related to Break. So the upcoming Elation characters might be Break related, which isn't surprising, right? Version 3 mirrors version 1 HP scaling and summons and all that shit. And version 4 then means that should mirror version 2, right? So we'll probably go back into a Break meta with Elation at the beginning of version 4. Never wrong, just early, yeah. Like, I also called out the weapon jumps, the niche archetypes, the pull count, and everybody was making fun of me. Oh, you're playing future waves, right? Oh, this isn't gonna happen. They're gonna, stagnate the jumps, right? It's not gonna get any more predatory. It's only continuously gotten worse. Like, only. The worse pull count, the signature jumps, the nicheness of teams, best in slot support. Like, it just keeps getting worse. Not gonna lie, you should quit Woowa, Cap the Goat. Yeah. I didn't say anything about Cap because she seems to be like semi honest most of the time. But the irony is she farmed miasma from ZZZ and greatly over exaggerated its effects and then told me to quit over bringing up factual statistics and jumps for different characters instead of feels crafting. All gacha games after 1 year go downhill. I think the reality people need to accept is that in the first year of a new gacha, that's where they want to, get you in, right? For one, there aren't a lot of limited characters. So it's hard to cover every single archetype. So the power creep and HP inflation will be the lowest in the first version of every single gacha, right? This is just normal because you need to fill in the blanks, add in characters that fit here and there, and then once you have everything done, then you can start introducing newer characters who are better, right? So it has the least HP inflation, the least power creep. That's when it looks the least predatory, right? It's always the second year. And I told people this. People were like, oh, it's the first year of Wua, like we're doing good, right? But what people don't realize, they're doing this a lot, right? Wua is 1 year younger than HSR, and it's like, no, it's like 3.5 years younger than Genshin. And people are already comparing like Wua signature jumps, predatory practices, HP inflation, like 1.5 year old game to 2.5 and 5 years old, right? That's already not a good sign. Oh, really, Mordred King? Nice. I haven't tried MOC on my Anoxa account, but it's because I can't sustain. I tried it on my Phanon account. I already made a community post about it. I got a zero cycle with what's it called? I got a zero cycle with Phanon with two teammates, and then my day took fucking forever. And then my Cassie account I also finished. I think my Cassie took like 2 or 3 cycles. And then my second team, what's my second team on my Cassie account again? I don't remember actually. Oh, it's Phanon. It's E0S1 Phanon, yeah. I think that one took a little bit. 110 viewers. It's always the streams where I literally do nothing that people watch the most. Which, to be honest, I prefer. I like being lazy. I 3 cycled with Acheron and 6 cycled with Archer plus Sparkle. Low cost team, so I'm happy. Nice. Why is your title scaring me? Oh, it's not meant to be like a dramatic title. I'm actually just tired. Like, I'm just tired because you know, making Woo content obviously has negative feedback, and I understand why. I truly do, but it's like, for example, in that video talking about Yuno and Augusta, I wasn't even negative about it. All I said was, yo, Augusta pullers. If you're getting Augusta, I recommend getting Yuno because she gives this 60% crit damage buff you might have not been aware of before. And people are trying to paint it out like I'm fucking trying to boycott Kuro games. Like, no. Like, no. I even say in that video, I know it's like predatory and whatever, but I'm like really sick of calling this shit out over and over again because at this point it's obvious, right? Like, for example, in HSR, when characters get bullshit light cone jumps, I don't even talk about it all that much anymore. Like, I don't. Because it's just so normal at this point that calling it out is like calling out the obvious, right? So, I don't see any point in me continuously over and over again being like, hey guys, oh my god, look at Woowa with another niche best in slot support for this. Like, it's just so obvious at this point. I'm so sick of talking about it. I'm going to mention it, but I'm not going to go on some fucking rant about how bad it is anymore. Right. No, it's not personal. It's a mistranslation that it's personal. The real translation is any active resonator in Yuno's field can get that crit damage buff so long as they stack it up with shields. And Augusta is the only one in the game that can do that because she has a passive that regenerates a shield every zero point 0.8 seconds. That's so lame. I mean, yeah, but like, I don't know, man. I'm just used to it at this point. If you guys want to fully see it, it's just in my community post. It's literally right behind my recent community post where I talk about like how sick I am of people comparing Wuwa characters to the most general supports in HSR possible. It shows there, and the person talks about it, right? And they mention how there's a translation issue, and it isn't Uno only, and it's any active resonator in Uno's zone. Thank you, Sodic. I mean, the thing is, it's only version 1, right? Like, this is the first version of their kits, so it can be changed. The thing is, though, like, with Wuwa, it's a bit weird because they usually make supports or like a DPS more reliant on a support the further a beta goes on. I literally can't remember a single time I've seen them actually nerf a support for their best in slot DPS. Like, I've never seen it. Like, people were celebrating the shit out of Chacona changes or like Cartethia changes in her beta, and they were like, "Oh my god!" Right? Cartethia can self-apply arrow erosion. She can do this. She can do that. Oh my god, we no longer need Chacona. And then after the calcs came out, it was in fact a complete facade. Right? They actually increased Chacona's value for Cartethia. Right? They pulled a complete fucking blindside and fooled everyone into thinking she no longer needed Chacona. So it's really weird with Wuwa betas. Oh yeah, I agree, Ravona. I'd also like to mention, I just don't see people. Well, I do see people using Yuno because she's a sustain slot, right? I think a lot of people need to get this out of their heads. Yuno is not a Mortefi competitor, right? She is supposed to be a shorekeeper competitor for basically any heavy attack DPS, right? So, who's likely going to be the actual Mortefi competitor for Augusta is Q Yuan. I'm highly doubtful it'll be Yuno. So, the entire like best in slot team should be like Q Yuan, Yuno, and Augusta. Since Yuno can heal, Augusta has the synergy with shields, and then if I had to guess, Q Yuan would probably be like another sub DPS with buffing. All right, guys, we're about to hit 1 hour on the stream. I appreciate you all stopping by, but guess what? It's 11:40. Your boy hasn't even eaten all day long, right? And he's hungry. I appreciate you all stopping by for one of my most random streams ever. You're all amazing and lovely people. Thank you for the support. Hope you all have a great day. Hope you have a great night.